Hello guys, welcome to Servlet tutorial. Today we shall see example Java web application on applying multiple filters on a single servlet program. So before going to create this Java web application, let us see pictorial diagram to understand the flow of execution. So here you can see the browser window and one deployed web application whose name is filter app 2, or you can say filter app 3, any name. And in the browser window, you'll find index.html contains two fields, username and password, as well as login button. And in the filter app 2, deployed web applications, you'll find two filters. One is authentication filter and second is performance test filter. And I do have one servlet program, as well as this web application trying to interact with the database table contains two fields, username and password. So whenever the user enters the details, suppose he has entered the details, then Ganesha and password, if I enter as a pass @123, then hit the login button, the request will be trapped by web application. The request will be trapped by web application and need to be forwarded to the login servlet. But directly request will not go to login servlet. First of all, the request will be trapped by, meanwhile, the request will be trapped by first servlet whose name is, request will be trapped by authentication filter. So authentication filter trap that request, check whether username is present into my database table or not. Check into my database table is present, username and password is available into database table or not. Okay. Then after checking, it will check, first of all, check if it is available. If it is available, then only forwards the request. So I can call here. If I give you the flow of executions, so this is 1 and this is the request, and this is flow of execution 2, and I can call here 2.1. We will check your credentials from the database table. And meanwhile, before going to send the request to the login servlet, the request will be trapped by authentication filter, and this authentication filter is a request filter. So checks the credentials. We will check the credentials. So check the credential. Check credentials. Check credentials. It is available whether the credentials are correct or not. If it is valid, if credentials are valid, then forward the request to performance test filter if it is valid. So forward the request to performance test filter if credentials are valid. So let me note here, if credentials are valid, if valid credentials, okay, fine boss. If credentials are valid, then performance test filter calculates the request processing time. So here it calculates request processing time. Performance test filter is responsible to calculate request processing time. Then after that, it will forward the request to your login servlet. So this is third step. Let me add here note point here. So this is my third step. You can call here. So this is also 2, this is 3, here is third step, and this is my fourth step. This is the fourth step. In the fourth step, you will find here main logic of the main business logic. This is my main business logic of my Java application. Then LoginSrv sends the response back to browser window. LoginSrv sends the response back to browser window. So response is going to browser window as a dynamic web page. So this is my response. So meanwhile, before the response gets reached to my web page, the response will be trapped by first performance test filter. First of all, performance test filter will trap that request. Let me give the number. So here is 5. Then performance test filter also calculates the request processing response generation time and forwards the response to authentication filter. Authentication filters will trap that response. Authentication filter traps that response, and also let me use here numbers. So here is number 6, here is number 7, and finally attach that response to here. So this is the flow of execution if valid credentials, are valid. So here is 8th one. Okay guys, fine. If credentials are valid, if not valid credentials, if credentials are valid, you will get dynamic web page as a login success. If credentials are invalid, then response will go as an error page. So here you can see here, this is the if credentials are invalid. So you can call here, this is the error page. If it's invalid credentials. Okay guys, fine. So this is the flow of execution, and you will get the message here, invalid credentials. Fine. Contains error.html and username and password. You need to re-enter username and password. That's it. So this is the flow of execution we shall see. So let me repeat once again. Browser contains index.html, contains username and password as the 2 fields and login button. When the user fills this username and passwords and hit the login button, request will be sent to the LoginSrv. But before the request is going to reach to the LoginSrv, the request will be trapped by authentication filter, which is a request filter. After tapping that request, the authentication filter checks the credentials are available into the database table, Ganesha and password, username as password. If it is available, then forward the request to performance test filter, which is a request or response filter. If credentials are valid, then request will be trapped by performance test filter, which calculates the request processing time and forward the request to LoginSrv, which contains main business logic. Then main business logics will execute and LoginSrv will generate the response. This response contains a dynamic web page as a login success. But before going to reach that response to the browser window, the performance test filter will trap that response and send the response back to again authentication filter. Authentication filter will send the response to the dynamic web to the browser as a last final response. Okay guys, so fine. This is in the case of if credentials are valid. If it is invalid, then authentication filter instead of sending instead of sending the next instead of forwarding the request to the performance test filter, it will forward the response to directly here 2.2 2.2 forward the response as an error page, forwards the response as a error page to browser window. Okay guys, fine. So this is also response. Okay boss, fine. Invalid credentials and passwords. Now let us create the Java web application. So before we want to create Java web application, first of all we shall see we should need to create a table. We need to create a table whose name is user list, and contains username and password are two fields. So I'm going to use MySQL here. So let me use SQL Yoke instead of using MySQL command line. So SQL Yoke is a GUI interface. So right click user list, its table is there. So table data, you can see here uname and passwords, uname and password, fine. Uname and passwords, Mauli pass, Vittal, Ganesha, no pass. Okay, fine. So we'll use this table and let's create a Java web application. Table is also ready. So 67, let me create the Java web application whose name is 68 Authentic Filter. So filter app 3. So before going to create Java web application, just have the overlook. What are the things are present in this filter app 3 with multiple filters and single servlet. So it contains index.html, home.html, index.html or home.html, and under web-INF you will find web.xml. Classes, under classes you will find authentication filter, performance test filter, LoginSrv and all class files. And I'm going to add mysql-connector.jar because I am trying to create the table in MySQL database. So let's create the authentication filter. So copy, otherwise you can go for multiple filters on single servlet. Multi filters, one servlet app. Okay guys, so let me use this name and file menu, new project, Java web application, hit the next. So give the name 63 multiple filter on one servlet, hit the next. I'm going to use here Java W5, hit the next and hit the finish. Okay guys, so what are the things we need to add into this application? First of all, index.html, and then we'll add home.html. Okay guys, fine. So go to web pages. So this is the index.jsp. I don't want this index.jsp. Fine. Web.xml I don't need. First solid I don't need. Second solid I don't need. Third solid also I don't need. Request counter also don't need. Index.jsp also don't need. Fine. So let me remove this index.jsp first of all. Delete. So what do we have? I do have index.html. So let me add one web page. Right click, new. HTML, ship home, index.html, hit the finish. So this is the index.html. Okay guys, fine. So done. So I'm going to use some title and heading, that's it. So Java web application and Java web application to work with the filters, multiple filters on single servlet. So here let me use one break tag and horizontal row. Fine. So guys, Java operation to work with the multiple filters. So let me keep everything in center. Center. Then under the center, let me add here h2 tag, login break login page slash h2. Okay guys, you can keep as it is, not to worry. Then again I need break tag. Now let us add the remaining code. I need here form tag, form. Then we can go for action. So I will keep here action later on. Here is a method. You can use the method your wish guys, it's not mandatory. You can use get method or post method. Then if you have wish, you can pass here the name called form1. Fine. Let me use here somewhat bold tag and enter username and input type. So input type text, input type text. Then here you can use a name. I'm going to use here uname, and you can go for the size. If you wish to go for size, suppose I want to go for 15. Fine. Then break tag, I need to use break tag absolutely. I need so here enter password, input type text, name. So here you can call name name password. So here you can go for password name pass, or you can use here pwd password. Okay, fine. Break tag, and then so simply input type. Let me go for here submit and value check credentials, or you can go for login. Size you can mention here 10, or you can go for 15 else your wish. That's it. Fine guys, so let me add here one message break tag, control C control V, and this is index.html. Okay guys, fine. So go to my WEB-INF. Under WEB-INF you'll find web.xml. So here instead of index.jsp, let me configure here index.html as a welcome file. Fine, this is my index.html, and here action, let me configure here login URL. Okay guys, so here is my login URL. Fine. Then after once login URL, then next we'll go for adding one more, that is home.html, or you can go for what is the name we have configured here, error.html, right? So we'll configure here error.html. So we'll use error.html here. So right click, new, HTML, shift home, error.html, finish. So I need same page, just one extra message, Control A, Control C, and I'll change here Control A, paste. So I'm pasting same form page. So this is index.html now. Let me give the message here, this is error.html. okay, fine. And here Java web application to work with the multiple filters on a single solid. So here Java, instead of Java web applications, so let me give here the message invalid credentials, or you can call simply a message, you must enter valid username and password. Okay guys, fine, you must enter valid username and password. So guys, Control C, font color red, H1 Java web application, H1 close, font blue, fine. So here also let me go for font. Okay, you must enter valid username and password. So here again login page, then login URL same as it is, that's it. So here enter username and password, enter username, enter password, input type text, and that's it. This is error.html. okay boss, fine. Here you can call here error.html, and here if you wish to go for, you can go for here index.html. fine, that's it. Now what is the next step? Let us proceed for creating the authentication filter. Fine, so let us create the authentication filter. Authentication filter, Control C. So here I copied authentication filter, and let's go to your application, right click, new, Java class whose name is authentication filter, hit the finish. Okay guys, so let me go for here implements filter, and let me override the methods. First of all, let me add import for javax.filter, and then once you add, import all abstract methods. So this is abstract methods, shift home, delete. I don't want to throw any errors, so that's it. Okay guys, so also we need to add the jar, so let me add the jar into my libraries. So right click, add jar folder. So you can see here mysql-connector -java -5.1.10 -bin.jar. Open this file. So jar is added now. Minimize, and let's write the logic to work with filter, authentication filter. So now let's go for write filter config, f. Let us initialize with the null. Then again I need to invoke solid context objects. So here I'm trying to create solid context reference, solid context sc, initialize with the null. Then scroll up. So under init method, let me initialize f with my filter config, f with the filter config, and solid context initialize with the f dot get solid context. And here is your init method. Here is your init method. Fine. So guys, here meanwhile filter chain, and let me get the HTTP solid request. So HTTP solid request req or hreq. Let me hold into my request reference, but I need to typecast. So here I am typecasting HTTP solid request, typecasted solid request to the HTTP solid request. Fine. Let us get the string login page. So here you can call error.html. So you have to simply mention here error.html. That's it, error.html. Okay guys, so let me get the values. String username initialize with the, let me get the hrequest dot get parameter, and if I go to index.html, here I can see here uname, copy and paste here simply. So similarly I need password also, password. So here is password pwd. Fine. Scroll down, string solid context, let me use the log. So let me give the message here, I am in authentication filter, and in this authentication filter let me give here request dot get request URI, so let me keep again solid context dot log. So this log message we'll see later on. Okay, so here we are writing current request related logs in log file. Okay guys, here we are trying to read form data, fine, semicolon, and here authentication filter. H request, then let me use here get solid path. I want to keep here username and password also, so for time being let me keep here username. So username, let me pass here username. What is the username here? So username is here, and comma, password is pwd password. Okay boss, fine. Username un, password is password. Fine. Let us write the logic. So here try, and let me hold your catch block, and here is my exception e dot and structures. Fine. Here let's write the logic to work with the database. So guys, let me use the same code that I used the last time. So default packages for solid, not first. So let me go to my third solid and let me get all those values, connections, prepared statements for Oracle. Okay, fine. Yes, I want to import SQL connection. So SQL connection prepared statement, and this is class.forName for com.mysql.jdbc.driver for mysql driver implemented class name. And here I'm using jdbc mysql / localhost 3306 test is my database name, and root is the username and root is password. This is for Oracle. Okay, but don't forget to change your username and password here. Don't forget to change your username and passwords. That's it. So here I got the connections for my database, and even we can go with this either this way, or you can go for driver manager.get connection also. Fine. So if you are happy with this, you can go with this driver manager dot register driver also you can go, and here you can mention your driver class name. You can mention your driver class name oracle.jdbc.oracle.driver. So in this way also possible. So new not here, so here. So actually it's showing the error because I haven't added the jar. I need to add the jars. Either use this line class.forName, or you can use this line. Okay, so I'm making here or so class.forName or driver manager.register driver new Oracle. Similarly you can do same for MySQL also. You can do same for MySQL also, com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Okay guys, so driver manager.register driver and new com.mysql.jdbc.driver. This is also valid. You can comment and you can use this. Okay guys, so this is for the or. No, I don't want to use. I want to use earlier way. Leave it. We're not working with Oracle also. So minimize the codes and scroll down. Let's write the code. So I need to work with the prepared statements. So I think I have already received the reference of prepared statement PS. So PS initialize with the con dot prepare statement and here I can pass the query. So what is the query? So I need to use select star from user list, because this is the table name user list. So this is the table name user list, username and password, uname and pwd. So here you can see your uname, select star from user list where uname is question mark and pwd is question mark. So you can see here uname is column name and pwd is a column name from user list. Select star from user list where uname question mark and pwd question mark. Okay guys, fine. So ps dot, let me go for set string, and here let me give first parameter as a un. So un, yes, here is un, and second is pwd, and here is ps dot set string second index, and here is pwd. Okay guys, so now let's work with result set java.sql.result set. One yes, so let me get the ps dot execute query. Now let me check if rs dot next. If rs dot next means I can able to forward the request, else I'll forward the request to home page, error page. Okay, fine. So let me go for forwarding request. So here is my chain reference, chain dot do filter request and response. So what I'm trying to do here is the code here to check username and password and passwords are correct. Okay, or you can call if valid credentials. Okay guys, fine. And if valid credentials, if invalid credentials. So here I'll go here, if invalid credentials, fine, in the else block. As well as before going to forward, let us keep the message sc.log, and here what is the message? Username and password, are correct. That's it. Fine guys, so you can use return blank if you have wish. So actually I don't need to return anything. And here is invalid credentials. So in the invalid credentials I need to forward the request to next page. Fine, so let me use here same. Passwords are incorrect. Okay, fine. And so here trying to display error.html. So again I need to get the request dispatcher object, request dispatcher rd. So by using solid context you can able to get request dispatcher, and here I can pass here login page. At the top we have configured login page as error.html. Okay, fine. So scroll down, you'll find your login page. Just forward rd.forward request comma response, fine. And simply I need solid context.log, and here you can keep the message. The message is, so after forwarding request to error.html login page, fine. Then simply I want to return blank. Okay guys, so here you can go for exceptions and some SQL exception also. And here also you can go for exception, fine. and this is my do filter destroy method. So just nullify, so initialize with the null. So filter config initialize with the null, and this is end of your destroy, this is end of your do filter. So this is end of your do filter, this is destroy, and this is your authentication filter class. That's it. Okay guys, so we are done with the filter, authentication filter. Fine. Now we'll go for creating performance test filter. Fine. So guys, we'll create one performance test filter. So Control C, I copied. Let us add this performance test filter to your Java web application. And so new Java class performance test filter, hit the finish. So this is my performance test filter. So here implements filter. So here is javax.filter. So I need to override all three methods again. Implement all abstract methods. Delete. Guys, fine. So this logic here, I can write the logic here. So this filter, performance test filter, to check the time taken to process a request. So we can use such filter while optimizing the code to improve the speed or performance. Okay guys, fine. So here also I need filter config initialize with the null, and after getting the filter config, so let's write the logic to work with the init do filter, and that's it. So you have initialize with the filter config. So and in the destroy, let's initialize f with the null. Fine. So this may not be visible, so let me hit the enter, and here is my do filter method. In its do filter method, so let me use one long variable. So before process, and let me use here system dot current time in millis. Okay guys, so current time in millis. Then I need to forward the response. So here I got a chain do filter request comma response. So first of all, here gets the request wrapping time, and so here I am trying to forwards the request, forward the request to Servlet program. Then let me use one more long after process, and here is system current time minutes. So here I'm trying to get response trapping time, get response trapping time, and then let me use so long. So what is the difference? So difference you can get here, after process minus after process, then here is before process. So this will give me, this will gives the amount of time taken to process the request, So here I can call here long difference. So HTTP solid request, so I can call h request. So let me typecast here HTTP solid request and request. So here I typecasted now. So here is my f dot get servlet context, and I can keep the log message. So the log message, so I want to keep here log message total time for processing request, so here I can call here h request dot get request URI, and here I can pass here, and here I can keep here difference. Okay guys, fine. This is the end of do filter. End of destroy, and end of the class. So this is end of your class. Fine. So here we can find total time for processing, difference. Okay, fine. Okay guys, now let me go for next. I need to create login solid. So LoginSrv.java. So go to the new solid, login solid, hit the next, and we'll go the URL login URL. Okay, so hit the finish, because we have configured login URL to index.html here, login URL, right? As well as we have configured login URL to error.html. So LoginSrv, so here you can see delete, and okay guys, so we'll go for this logic. Fine, I am simply in login solid, so that's it. So here try catch, so exception to e dot print stack trace. Fine. So I want to keep here thread.sleep long minutes and some seconds, long minutes. So you can open meanwhile some more time. Okay, fine. So then before this response reach, so out.println, control check, out.println, and here you can keep here center, and center I can keep here h1 and some of the break tag. That's it. So I want to give the message login successful. Login successful. So center h1 break, login successful. Okay guys, fine. And finally out.close, and here is a auto generated code, folded code. So just vanish. I don't want this stuff. Delete. That's it. Fine guys. Okay, fine guys, done, almost done. Login successful, short description, that's it. Then it's a time to configure your solids and filters. We added the jar also, so configure filters and configure both the filters and login SRV using same URL pattern. So guys, go to web.xml file. So here is my web.xml file, and here I have to configure by using filter mapping. So here is the filter, then here is filter name, then here filter mapping, filter class, then end of the filter class. Okay, similarly I need filter mapping, so just end the filter mapping. Then again I need filter name, then URL pattern, end of URL pattern. Okay guys, fine. So filter mapping, that's it. Then okay, fine. So first we'll go for authentication. So here also auth, and where is my authentication filter? Here is my authentication filter, page up. So authentication filter, control C, and go to web.html, authentication filter. Here is authentication filter, and change the URL pattern to here slash. We have to use login URL. We have to use here login URL. So this URL, copy, and where is my web.xml file? Here is web.xml file. Fine guys, so control C, and let us configure one more. Here is performance. Okay, fine, login URL and performance test filter. Get the name, go to web.xml and configure here performance test filter. So guys, same authentication filter, authentication, login, then performance test filter, perform login URL. Fine guys, so LoginSrv login URL. Welcome file list and web app. Okay guys, fine. So filter mapping, filter mapping, and okay, done guys. Authentication, performance, login URL, done. Now it's a time to check. It's a time to run your application. Fine. So guys, now let's go for next step. Run and test the application. So go to your NetBeans, right click, run. So it's running. Apache Tomcat. So you can see from my database Ganesha and no pass or Mauli pass. Fine. It's loading. So you can see here Java web application to work with the multiple filters on single servlet. So let me use here Mauli and pass. So here is MAULI PASS. So let me check here. PASS, fine. Also I need to, this is index.html. Also I need to go for logs. So where is my log? Windows E, and I think it's installed here only, not here. Software, so study software. So I think my servers are here only, different servers, Apache Tomcat. So I think it's here. Let me go to logs and let me search for today's log. So today is 5/22. Okay, fine. 22/5. So let's go to logs dot localhost. Yes, I got it. Localhost 2025/22. Fine. So log this file, today's file. So just now server started, just some few seconds back. So 1 minute back. Fine. So go to browser. So Mauli and pass. Hit the login. Don't save it. So it is telling that login URL, uname, Mauli and password. So login URL is not able to find out. So let us check why login URL is not able to find out. Okay, fine. Where is web.xml? Web.xml, scroll down. Just do observe here, uppercase CL I mentioned here. So make it lowercase CL, that's it. And save all file, save all. Your application will be reloaded. And go back, Mauli. So PASS, hit the login. And I need to open meanwhile that file, logs. So right click, open it, edit +3, page down. So you can see here username and passwords are correct. You are at login URL. So authentication filter. So scroll up. So you can see authentication filter, login URL, password, username in Mauli, password, and username is correct, username password is correct. So total time for processing, it's 0 milliseconds. It's showing that 0. Okay, login URL, and again authentication filter, login, then pass. Username and password is correct. Okay boss, fine. Again go to browser and wait for some around 1 minute 6 seconds, sorry 1 minute, 60,000 milliseconds. So 1000 millisecond means 1 second, so you have to wait until it has to finish 1 second, 1 minute. One minute is more than enough. Actually I should keep here 30 seconds is more than enough, 30-second time. So just do observe the output from the server log file also, and here also. Let me keep side by side. Once time finish 60 seconds, you will get the credentials from login. I think I should minimize the time. Just let me check here. Next time I don't configure 30 seconds, it's more than enough. 30 seconds of 60 seconds, I'll go for hardly 25. Okay guys, I think last time I gave 1 minute. I think I should stop. Let me change the time and rerun the application. 25 seconds is more than enough. So enter here. This time I'll go different username and password. So Ganesha, no pass. So here is Ganesha, and here is NOPASS. So hit the login, don't save, and meanwhile let me open the log file. So you can see a password incorrect, login URL, and here is no pass. Username password is correct, fine. And go to browser window. Once 25 seconds gets finished, you can see here login solid, login successful, login successful. Go to browser window, scroll down. So total time for processing your request around Ctrl+Shift+W. So here you can see 25,001 millisecond, 25,001 milliseconds. Okay boss, fine, it works here. So where is my performance test filter? So let me write here milliseconds. Plus okay, fine. So guys, let me rerun. You can try in different ways. Any other Vithalan password. So VITTHAL and PASSWORD. So hit the login. Don't save, and just meanwhile observe the output. Go to logs. Under logs, so under logs you will find today's log. So here open this file, and after this log I think no log has written. So this is old log to here old log. Login URL, let me go for here Vithala. Username Vittal and password is password. So user and password is correct. So meanwhile wait for the browser response come. So login successful, and just reopen because it's from, yes, it's here. User passwords are correct, and you can see here total time for processing the request 25,003 milliseconds. 25,003 milliseconds. Now let me go for wrong username and passwords. Wrong username and passwords. So Vithala, something I'm trying to enter dummy. So hit the login. Hit the login and just do observe the output here also. Scroll down. So you can see here you must enter correct username and password. After forwarding the request, trying to display error page and error. So this is error.html. Here I entered wrong. Vithala, some dummy, and login. So again we will get wrong. You must enter valid username and passwords. Valid. Okay, fine guys. So scroll down. Error. Fine. So this is the way that you can able to configure multiple filters with the single servlet. Okay guys, fine. So Yogesh, what are the username passwords are there? So let me add one more. So guys, I'm trying to do one more. So login, and meanwhile do observe the console also. So here Yogesh, both the username passwords are correct. So let it finish 25 seconds. Scroll down, and you can see here it has taken exactly 25 seconds, or you can call 25,000 milliseconds. Okay guys, so this is login successful, and here dummy. Login error. You must enter valid username and passwords. So go back, enter Yogesh, and so here login. Go to logs. I'm trying to open the log. So here is my browser window. It has taken 25,001 millisecond. Okay guys, fine. So this is about multiple filters and single servlet. Multiple filters on single servlet. Fine. Okay guys, so I need to take the URL. That's it. So guys, after this we shall see one more new topic, that is after solid filter which will go for security. Okay, control shift W will go for security in web application. Okay, fine. So this is the last topic of the solid, as well as even you can go for JSP also, not to worry. JSP also it's the same concept, and solid also same concept. Security in web application, fine. I think it must be 220. Let me close this. Okay guys, try, practice whole application. Good luck. Thank you for watching.